Good afternoon to all of you. Now that we're back, we have an amazing panel for you. Today, as you know, we are acknowledging and confronting slavery and its legacy. The anti-Black racism that fueled and perpetuated slavery has been persistent and pervasive over hundreds of years. Generations of African Americans have been deprived of their lives, their freedom, their health, their wealth, educational opportunities, and their general sense of well-being. This has resulted in clear, well-documented disparities in outcomes for Black Americans. Over the last few decades, scholarship has emerged to provide data about the magnitude of some of these disparities. We know more now about the causes, the effects, and in some cases we have solutions. This panel is about solutions. The county executive has tasked county leaders to identify the disparities in our communities, to make opportunities accessible to all residents, and to take meaningful action to reduce outcome disparities in key areas. And so we are going to hear about existing programs that have the potential to do just that. One of the most difficult things for government leaders is having great programs that people don't know about or utilize. And so we want you to know about these things that are available here in Anne Arundel County. These are some of the best programs that the county has to offer. Please join me in welcoming, and I'm going to introduce them in order, Dr. Mark Bedell, Superintendent of Anne Arundel County Public Schools. Next, we have Daryl Prattt, Program Manager from Arundel Community Development Services. The dynamic Amy Gowan, CEO of Anne Arundel Economic Development Corporation. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Kellie McCants-Price. She's the Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer for Anne Arundel Community College. So you are going to want to pay close attention to what they have to say so that you can share this information with your families, friends, and your networks. After they tell you about their organizations, each of these panelists is going to tell you 4 key things, okay? They're going to tell you how their programs have the potential to change people's lives. They're going to tell you that. They are going to tell you who's eligible to participate. So there's no ambiguity. You know if you're eligible or not. They're going to tell you what people who are interested in programs might need to know in order to ensure that they're considered for participation. And they're going to tell you about application cycles, when the deadlines are, so that you don't hear about the program and it's already 2 years too late for you to get in and that kind of thing, okay? So those are the things that we want you to be listening for. We're going to start with Dr. Mark Bedell, and each of our panelists is going to take their time in turn. Dr. Bedell?
All right, thank you, Asha. Good afternoon to all who are in attendance today. The first half of this program I thought was amazing, really touched my heart in a way that further validates why we have to do what we have to do. I want to start off by just reading this to you. And I don't know if I was supposed to do some formal introduction, but I'm in my 4th year as superintendent here in Anne Arundel County. In my 10th year, but I have 10 years of experience, and 6 of those years was in the Kansas City Public School District in Missouri, where I tackled a lot of how race had played out and how history had played out. And so reading what I'm getting ready to read to you is important because this was also one of the reasons why I made a decision to come to Anne Arundel County. The Board of Education of Anne Arundel County acknowledges the historical, generational, and compounding reality of the systems, structures, and practices that have intentionally and unintentionally created and continue to afford advantages to some student groups while perpetuating inequities for others. AACPS must take responsibility and action for dismantling and actively repairing these inequities to ensure positive educational outcomes for all students. That is part of our equity policy. And we're in a day and era where equity policies and diversity, equity, and inclusion is under attack. And having been in this game for 10 years, I have an opportunity to have a lot of influence nationally. And I talk to a lot of superintendents who have dismantled their equity departments. They've gotten rid of every word that deals with equity in their strategic plans, in their policies. And we're fortunate here in Anne Arundel County to have a school board that is committed to ensuring that a sense of belonging prevails for everybody, regardless of who you are and how you show up. So if you can go to slide 2, I want to start by just sharing this vision and part of our vision with you. We created a strategic plan that is very short, very easy for people to follow. I wanted the vision to only be 15 words. We were able to get it to 16. And it's that the Anne Arundel County Public Schools is a school community where everyone can belong, grow, and succeed. And what's important about that word belong is that if you don't create a sense of belonging for kids, then they will never be able to grow socially, emotionally, or academically, which then stifles their ability to succeed in a globally competitive world when they graduate. We are committed to that, and I think the things that we've done will, again, show our commitment. If you go to slide 3, we talk about high quality instructional materials. One of the things we wanted to do was be very intentional in what we were putting in front of our kids. Cultural relevant curriculums are very important. Reveal Math is a game changer for us right now in Anne Arundel County. We're in our 3rd year of implementation of that for our elementary students. Amplify, we moved to the Amplify Core Knowledge Language Arts, which is science of reading. We're in year 2. We've had 3 amazing years in this school district of progress where, in many cases, we are ahead of where we were even pre-pandemic when you think about the progress that we're making in this school district. And so on this next slide, this is where we get into the meat of really talking about gatekeeping and really the opportunity gap. I often tell people that you have multiple forms of inequities that are created. You have inequities based on how the system has been designed overall, as I read in this policy, that really disadvantages certain individuals over others. You also have inequities that are created within your system. Those inequities are a lot easier to attack if you have the professional will to do right by those that you serve. And one of those inequities has always been this gatekeeper model on who gets access to what type of courses in schools. And I remember when I came here to Anne Arundel County and I did my listening and learning tours, and I told everybody that we were going to get rid of the gatekeeper model when it comes to advanced placement, when it comes to dual enrollment, when it comes to those type of courses. We're also going to work to fund these things so that there is no inequity because you can't afford to take a dual enrollment course, or you can't afford to take IB, or you can't afford to take AP. And I had this one community member say to me, do you really believe that every kid that want to take these classes and want to be successful and should be able to take it? It's just like somebody wanting to play professional basketball. And I said, you know, your analogy that you just gave me falls short. And this is what I said to him. Anybody who wants to play professional basketball, if you have the athletic ability, you can touch a basketball when you're little. You can start practicing, you can drill, you can do all of those things. But I said, for a kid that wants to take an AP class, if it's only based on how a teacher sees or believes that their academic aptitude where it is the only way that they can get in, they never get an opportunity. I said, listen, I wrote a 142-page dissertation. During my high school years, I never got invited to take an AP class. Not because I couldn't do it, because they didn't see it in me. And so this is what often happens when you go in these classes and you don't see children of color in these classes because they weren't being invited. So that was one of the first things we dismantled. If you go to the next slide, I'll show you some data on it. And here's what the data is. I came into Anne Arundel County in 22-23. Look at the number of AP students that were taking classes at that time. In 24-25, we've had nearly a 2,000 in student increase with the number of students who are taking it. What people say is when you give more access to students that you don't think should be in the class, your scores are supposed to drop. I want you to look at the AP exams on the next slide with 3s or more. We not only increase the number of students, every year in Anne Arundel County, our AP scores have gone up. If you go down to the bottom, right, it's hard for me because I don't have a little clicker to point, but it says percent of exams with a 3+ or better. 60.5%, we're at 67.4%. And that's with an additional 2,000 more students taking exams. What's impressive is then when you go down to this next slide, which is on slide 6, and you look at advanced placement for African American students. Because we always tell people we want to segregate the data. Look at the growth that we've had with the increase of African American students taking AP classes. Look at the percent of kids who are now actually scoring a 3 or better on the exam. If you go down and you look at total exams for African American students, you've seen a plus 680 in 23-24. You've seen a plus 479. Those numbers continue to grow. And what's also important is at one point, only 39% of these kids that are black taking AP exams were scoring a 3 or better. We're up to 50% of those kids now scoring a 3 or better. This is how you dismantle. The same can be said when you go over and you take a look at, and I'm a very honest superintendent. I get the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I don't manipulate data because I'm presenting just to make it look good. There's some data up here will say, yes, we have some work to do. We still have gaps, right? And we have a lot of work to do. But if you look at pre-SAT and SAT, here's another example of it. Look at the increases that we have with students now taking pre-SAT. If you look at the growth of pre-SAT takers, we've gone from, in 21, 4,800 students. This past school year, 15,000 students. 15,000. Not only that, but our CCR benchmarks has grown from 455 to almost 3,900. If you look at SAT, the same trends. It's all about giving our kids more access. And then you can also see the percent of students that met their college and career readiness benchmarks has increased. What does it look like for African American students? You can see the growth down here on slide 8. If we go to slide 8, you can see the growth again. We've gone from 982 to 3,400 of our students now taking the pre-SAT, which is amazing. And let me tell you what this does. It helps us when it's time to identify AP potential. We actually have data now that we can place these kids into the proper AP course, so when they get in there, they don't drown. And once they get a taste of success, it's over. It's over, I'm just telling you. And so we're seeing that data, we're seeing the PSAT benchmarks. Look at how they have grown and increased each year. We like green. We don't like this other color here, tan, but we're gonna work on that. And then SAT takers, the same thing at the bottom. And then you can see the same thing with SAT Met benchmarks, 351 more students. So we're moving the needle in terms of what we're doing for our African American children and children of color. Let's go into graduation rates. Graduation rates, we've seen an increase in Anne Arundel County. We've moved from 87.7 to 88.5. It is mind-boggling to me how a district like this, we're not at 90%. But we have some things coming down the pipeline that I think will help us to get there. But I want you to look at these schools. And the schools that have made the most improvement, most of these schools, they serve a predominant population of children of color, generally a larger percentage of African American and Hispanic students. Look at the growth that we had in North County, Annapolis, Meade. You can even see South River, Chesapeake, some of our smaller schools, in Northeast High School. Joan, 11 of our schools are at 90% or better, and so we're proud of that. If you look at the gap reduction, with the class of 2023, we were at a 3.3% gap. With the class of 24, we shaved that gap 50%. It's a 1.6% gap. So what that means, thank you. So what that means is that not only are our students having more success when we look at the state assessment data, the federal assessment data, but they're also getting across the line. They're graduating at a rate that is equal to what it should look like. And that's what we're trying to do. Reduce the gaps, and reduce the predictability of who succeeds and who doesn't based on race or based on socioeconomic status. So how can you help our students? It's simple. On slide 12, we talk a lot about schools can't do it alone. And we're building out a portfolio mentoring program. This portfolio mentoring model is something that I used in Kansas City. It helped us to get out of a 20-year hole of not being fully accredited. And it was because our kids were able to get in front of some positive adult advocates to really help breathe life into them. We will train people to become mentors. We will pay for your background check. But we have a lot of kids that just need positive adult advocates. Even if it's talking to a kid just once a month, it makes a world of a difference. And so there's a way that you can really sign up and the link is here, aacps.org /mentoring. We would love to have you participate. All right, and then finally, the road ahead. We will continue to have this focus on ensuring that we are eliminating inequities in this county, addressing the adult-centered decisions that have been made that have harmed children. We want growth for everybody. You're a low achiever, you need to move. If you're average, you need to move. If you're high. We only have one National Merit Scholar when I got to Anne Arundel County. I could not believe that. We're up to 9 this year. And so, you know, we have to move everybody. And what that told me is we have a system that Anne Arundel was good, right? It's a turn the light on, turn the light off school district. And it is good, y'all. It's a really good system. I'm not interested in being good. I'm not. We're gonna be great, and we're gonna continue to pursue that, and we have to. And if we're gonna do that, the lowest of performers in our district have to be challenged. There has to be value add. They have to move, or we'll never be great. So we're going to focus on transforming our CTE programs, which is career technology education. We want to make sure that we have the most modern, workforce-ready type programs that our kids can receive. We're going to evaluate our magnet school programs. There's some things that we're offering that are antiquated and really not as relevant as I think they need to be. We're gonna really offer opportunities through our calendar flexibility where we're the only district in the state that don't have to operate on a 180-day and an hour system because we passed legislation that has now allowed for us to eliminate all of these early release days that have been a nightmare for families. And so we're gonna make sure that we're leveraging that. And then we're gonna also take a look at changing the graduation requirements. Every other district around us require their kids to graduate with 22 to 22 and a half credits. Anne Arundel requires 26. And let me tell you why our graduation rate isn't over 90, because we're shooting ourselves in the foot. The other thing that you do when you require 26, then the kids have to have required courses that are elective courses, and it doesn't give our students freedom. I want students to have more freedom. Just because we potentially will go down, we still gonna have our kids on average graduate with 28 to 30 credits because of the way our schedule's built, but it's gonna give the kids more freedom around what kind of electives they can take. And I think that will make our school experience for our students a much more enjoyable experience. That concludes my portion of this panel presentation.
So I do actually have one follow-up question for you, Dr. Bedell, if you don't mind. So if you are in this audience today and you are the parent of a child, what is the one program opportunity that you don't want folks to miss out on?
Well, I mean, honestly, the one that I don't want them to miss out on is ultimately all of these free opportunities that we provide for your kids to have access to a rigorous curriculum. We're going to take care of it at the elementary level. By us putting the high quality curriculum that we're putting in, we think we're going to build up a stronger student. And oh yeah, I didn't talk about this. We are engaging in middle school reform and redesign. we're gonna dismantle the way we do middle school and we're gonna redesign it. And we may be the only district, one of the few districts in the state doing this, but we think that with everything that we're doing at the elementary level, if we don't fix middle school, and it's not the teacher's fault, it's our fault. We know how to do elementary and we know how to do high school. Middle school gets neglected, and it gets neglected in every district that I've worked in. So if we fix that, then by the time your kids get to high school, all that I'm talking about will be available and they'll be able to access it without no problem. And so it is a barrier-free process right now. Your kid wants to get involved in taking dual enrollment. They want to take AP classes. It's free. We've made that free. But where I need help from you all, when it's time for these kids to take these pre-SATs, they need to take them. Right? I can't only have 73% of my ninth graders taking them. That's 27% missing. And when we get that data, we use that data to really build your student. So we need help from this community to make sure that our kids are taking it seriously, because by the time they take the actual SAT, these kids are going to be standing way above everybody else. I think Anne Arundel County is the only district in the state, large comprehensive district, that requires all 9th, 10th, and 11th graders to take the pre-SAT, and then we pay for the 11th graders to take the SAT on SAT day. But I don't think there's another district that's doing it for 9th graders. We are the one, and we're presenting to the state board on December 9th on our whole system because they've asked us to present.
So you want parents to send their kids to take that PSAT in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade?
That's correct.
And you're telling us that it's free for them to do that?
And we do it during the school day.
Well,
No reason why we only have 73% this year.
The PSAT is practice for the SAT.
That's right.
Okay, and the SAT gets you into college.
And the SAT gets them college, it gets them scholarships, it helps them with national merit scholars, and then the pre-SAT helps us with AP potential. Because you believe it or not, it's a whole bunch of kids who don't think they can do AP, and then when their scores come back, it's telling them, you know you can take this AP class. So that's the data that this will provide for us.
How many of you knew that the PSAT was being offered free in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade? A few of you knew. Some of you didn't know. Are you going to go home and tell everyone that you know? So that their kids are getting ready to take that SAT, they're getting training, and they're able to be funneled into programs that will help them to thrive? Yes? We're all doing that. All right, great. Thank you, Dr. Bedell. You weren't too much of a bully. You weren't too much of a bully. Thank you. So next up, we're going to hear from Daryl Prattt from Arundel Community Development Services, and he's again going to be telling you these 4 really important things. How can the programs that they offer change your life? Who's eligible to participate? What do you need to know to be considered for the programs? And when are the application cycles and deadlines? Daryl.
Thank you, Asha. First thing I want to say is my daughter is in 9th grade, so I'm going to benefit from Dr. Bedell. So I'm very glad to hear that today, because I didn't know that. Also, coming here and listening to the county executive speech was very powerful for me. So just very glad that I was able to participate today. So thank you, county executive. Arundel Community Development Services. For slide 1, I want to talk about who I am first. My name is Daryl Prattt, and I'm the program manager at ACDS. I'm a proud resident of Anne Arundel County, and I've been here for many decades. I've been with ACDS for 12 years, and what I love most about my job is that we make an immediate impact. And when I say an immediate impact, I'm gonna tell you just a brief story, and it wasn't a part of this presentation, but I just thought about it this morning. Thursday at work, I was talking to a coworker I've worked with for about 11 years. And she was talking to me about, you know, Daryl, you remember when you first started, how when you had a few clients who would leave, and you would say, we're just helping people. We just keep helping people. And she was laughing because I had only been there for several weeks and only had a few clients. And she would go tell my director, Chauncey, she said, Daryl keeps saying he keeps helping people. And I said, what did Chauncey say? And he said, wait till he finds out where the restrooms are. And he was basically saying, you haven't even started yet. And after being here for almost 12 years, when I say we make an impact, I mean we make an impact. So when you hear about these programs, just think about it. If you don't need any of these programs, you might know a family member or a friend who could benefit from it. But I just wanted to say that first. For those who don't know ACDS, we're the county's nonprofit housing and community development agency. We manage grants, affordable housing, and prevent homelessness in the county. I also supervise the eviction prevention program in Anne Arundel County. Okay? ACDS also helps develop restore historic and cultural treasures like the Wiley H. Bates Heritage Park, several of the Rosenwald schools located throughout the county, and all under the leadership of our CEO, Aaron Karpowitz, who's in the crowd today. Thank you, Aaron. Today I'm going to focus on a couple of our homeownership counseling programs, but we do have other programs, but today I just want to focus on those and how we just don't help families buy a home, we help build a long-term legacy. Slide 2. So looking at this slide, homeownership builds stability and wealth, but there are gaps that remain. Black household homeownership rates are at 50%. White households are at about 80%. Hispanic and Asian households also lag behind. These gaps stem from historic and systemic barriers, so our programs aim to reach underserved communities in Anne Arundel County. So we offer programs for both first-time home buyers and current homeowners. Today, again, programs I'm going to focus on are the homeownership and mortgage assistance programs, but other programs for homeowners are the property rehabilitation program. We have foreclosure prevention. I'm going to talk about moderately priced dwelling units in some upcoming slides, a new program to the county, and we do financial literacy. Buying a home is very stressful, very confusing, and can be overwhelming. If anyone's purchased a home, you know that is 100% true. So we have a counseling program to help prepare first-time home buyers for buying a house. Some key details about our homeownership counseling program. There's no income limit, so anyone can come and enroll in the program. It's free and open to any Anne Arundel County resident or anyone hoping to purchase a home in Anne Arundel County. There's a rolling application process, so there's no deadlines. Currently, we have about a 6 to 8 week waiting list, so if you were to put in an application today, you wouldn't get into the class for about 6 to 8 weeks. So we tell everyone, don't hesitate to enroll. When you're ready to enroll, just move. The goal isn't just to help families buy homes, it's to help them become confident, informed homeowners who can sustain homeownership for the long term. Comprehensive counseling to guide potential home buyers through our entire process. We do one-on-one counseling where we're going to review credit reports, financial documents. We help with budgeting, all helping you get prepared when you get in front of a lender to get a loan. We do group workshops covering topics like mortgages, questions for lenders, negotiating contracts, addendums within a sales contract, preparing the client for settlement. So one of the biggest barriers to home ownership is saving for down payment and closing costs. So this program helps families overcome that hurdle. We offer direct assistance to help with closing, down payment, and helping reducing rates in some cases. Some key points for everyone to take with them. You must be a first-time home buyer. So what does that mean? It simply means you haven't been on title for the last 3 years. It doesn't mean you could have bought a house 10 years ago, been off title for 10 years, you're technically a first-time home buyer, so by that metric you would be eligible. There are income limits, so if you're going to utilize the program, which is very generous, We have income limits because it's geared to help low to moderate income households. There's no payments, and the loan is due and payable if you sell or refinance your home, or 30 years from the day you settle. I'm going to talk to you about a success story with this program, and there are many, because every time someone uses this program to purchase a house, we attend the settlement. So we're there. This is one story. I worked with this particular client who's up on the slide for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. I met with her, reviewed all her financials, gave her an action plan, and I told her, if you follow this, you will buy a house, because I can see it in her eyes. She was ready. So I worked with her. She overcame credit obstacles, savings challenges. She stayed focused, and as a result, she purchased a single-family home with her son, who's in that picture, and they are now homeowners for the first time. And I can tell you, that smile she has on her face, she was smiling while she signed every document at that settlement. It was very powerful. It was very powerful. But even with our generous MAP program, there's still obstacles finding affordable households. Next slide, please. So to address that challenge, this year in July, the county recently passed the Housing Attainability Act moderately priced dwelling units. And we're going to administer that program. And what that means is for new developers who build in Anne Arundel County with 20 or more homes, they have to set aside 10% for affordable housing for those earning between 80 and 100% of area median income. For new rental units, developers must set aside 15% of those units for affordable rentals, so renters also have access to safe and stable housing. So what we're going to do in the upcoming months as the year fast approaches, we're going to be sharing more details. We're going to do targeted outreach to make sure that program is known to everybody. Also, our website's available, so you can periodically check our website and see updates as those projects are coming online and the wait list becomes available for those homes and opportunities. Next slide. So the marketing we're going to do is going to be targeted, because historically we know many communities have been left out of those opportunities. That's why we focus on targeted outreach. We always table at local festivals. We partner with faith-based organizations. We give presentations in neighborhoods across the county. And as a result, homeownership counseling class, where we serve about 400 people a year, active participants, represent a wide range of races and ethnicities. We're committed to making sure everyone in Anne Arundel County knows about our opportunities, our programs. So for more information, always check to our website, because today I only talked about a small portion of what we do at ACDS. Thank you, everybody, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Daryl. And so I think what I hear when I hear about ACDS, and full disclosure, I hear a lot about ACDS because of what I do, and they're a great partner of ours. What I hear is that everyone, or a lot of people, have a vision to own a home. What you don't want to do is to wait until you see the house, like we all do it. We go on Zillow, we see the house, and then we're like, we really want the house. And then you're thinking, I might have enough money. And then when you go to the realtor, you find out that there are things missing in your application, or there are ways in which you're ineligible. If you had a partner that could tell you what you're going to need to buy a house, tell you how to do the things that you're going to need to do to buy the house, get you through the process of getting the house, potentially give you down payment assistance to buy the house, and then go with you to your closing so that you're not anxious or nervous, and so that you have a friend. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that resource? I think what is it, Dr. Bedell, help me now, the shots you miss, 100% of the shots you miss are the ones you never take, something like that. If there are opportunities available, the encouragement that we want to give everyone is to take advantage. Taxpayer dollars go to fund these programs. We get, we used to get money from the federal government to fund programs. This is your money working for you. And so the only thing that we can do is encourage and implore you to take advantage of the programs that we have available at the county. When you see ACDS, don't just think of Community Development Agency, think opportunity, right? This is an opportunity for me. They're here to serve our needs, okay?
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Thank you. Welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
And Tasha, can I say one more thing?
Of course you can.
In closing, even though I've been there almost 12 years, sometimes it's very hard to believe what we do and how quick of an impact we make on so many people just by walking through our front door. It still shocks me to this day.
ACDS is your friend. That's what I hear. So please, when you have needs, please reach out to them. Okay. And so next up, we are going to have Amy Gowan. Amy is the CEO of our Economic Development Corporation, as I said before. And Ms. Sharon, are you here? Ms. Sharon, okay. Why don't you come on up so that you can be ready for when Amy's ready for you. Feel free to come on up to the stage. I'm going to put you in my seat over here so that you can be here. Ms. Sharon is going to help Amy to tell, careful, all right, to tell everybody what the Economic Development Corporation has for you. Go ahead, Amy.
Thank you so much, Asha. Thank you, County Executive Pittman, and all of you. It is such an honor to be here, first of all. On this stage with this group of just amazing leaders and all the other leaders that were on the stage this morning. I'm really humbled to be before you today. I'm Amy Gowan. I'm President and CEO for Arundel Economic Development Corporation. We are the county's economic development agency. We are a nonprofit, but we are funded by the county. And our mission, you can go to that please, is to foster diverse economic growth by empowering entrepreneurs, businesses, expanding employment opportunities, and revitalizing communities. And so what we do is we serve as really a central hub for businesses within the county, providing resources and services to help them grow and thrive within our county. We have a host of programs. You can go to the next, I can't see the slide, so if you go to the next slide, that we, the mission slide, that we provide just within our house. And if we don't provide a service to a business, then we have an entire ecosystem of partners that can provide more specialized services. So businesses start with us, and then they work with us, typically for quite a long period of time, and we help them every step of the way, whether they're starting up, scaling up, or whether they've been in business for a long time. In terms of the programs we offer a host of programs. I don't have time to go through all of them, unfortunately, today, but I am going to focus on two major programs that when we talk about making an impact and really making a change in business owners' lives, I feel like these two rise to the top. And the first of those programs is the VOLT program. It is a capital funding program for businesses, specifically for small women, minority-owned business owners. And we fund this program through basically slot machine revenue. So everyone that's playing the slots, a portion of those proceeds goes back into our community to support small women and minority business owners. And so we're a commercial lender, essentially, but we can come in and help businesses that maybe can't qualify for traditional commercial financing from a bank. It's a loan program. It's not a grant program. So we do underwrite these loans, but oftentimes, like, our target borrower is a business that has, potentially can't access funding from a commercial bank, is right on the cusp of being bankable, and we can just give them that extra edge to get over the hump. We've done, it's when we talk about, powerful and impactful, I mean, it's quite obvious, it's money, everyone needs money, but it's also about building wealth and building generational wealth through that program specifically. Next slide, I mentioned we provide a host of business support to our business community, particularly our entrepreneurs, but there's one program that has been remarkably successful that I really want to focus on today, and that is our IVP Inclusive Venture Program. This is an 8-week business accelerator program. It is really for businesses that are looking to scale. So they maybe have been in business a couple years and they're looking to get to the next stage. And it provides education, mentorship, access to capital to help these businesses. And so it has been such a remarkable success. I don't have quite as many numbers as Dr. Bedell did, but when you look at our numbers for this particular program, frankly, I'm in awe when I see them. We just graduated our 184 business about a week ago, and we survey our businesses 18 months after they graduate to see what progress they've been making. So when we surveyed our first 111 businesses, they generated $45 million for the county and 470 net new jobs. It's staggering for me. I just keep seeing this business grow and grow and grow. And we really pride ourselves on this being an opportunity for diverse businesses within our community. As you can see, those businesses are small. Over 90% have less than 20 employees. 78% are women-owned. 67% are minority-owned, and of that, 44% are African-American Black-owned. And I just want to acknowledge the support. I want to acknowledge two people in making this program such a success. One is the county executive, who really put his money where his mouth is, and he funded this. He seed funded it, and he continues to fund it and support it, and comes to the graduations and is a big advocate for this program. So I am incredibly thankful to him for that. But the other is our program manager, Barbara Way. Barbara, unfortunately, I know she wanted to be here today, but she had a conflict. Barbara is such a champion for our small minority women-owned business community. She is a remarkable leader in our community. I am so privileged to have her on my team. She's such a huge asset for this county. If you are a business owner, if you're thinking about going into business, please connect with Barbara. I have flyers out on the table that has contact information. But it's hard for me to really explain or describe the impact that this really has. So I asked one of our graduates to come and speak to you. Miss Sharon Wilder, if you could come up to the mic. Sharon is the owner, the CEO of the Oaks Hospitality Group. She was a graduate of cohort 11. To say she's crushing it would be an understatement. Continue to be amazed when I see everything that she's doing and how successful she is, and she's been such an ambassador. So Sharon, if you could say a few words about yourself and how this program has impacted you, I would be immensely appreciative.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. This morning has just been so inspirational, and I've learned a lot. And as a newer member of the Anne Arundel County community, my husband and I bought our place here right on Green Street 2 years ago. So I was just telling someone at lunch, I feel like I don't know anybody, and I really hope to meet more people. But when I talk about confronting history and honoring truth, I don't have to look far. The Oaks in Annapolis, which is the home that my husband and I bought 2 years ago, sits inside an 1830s home built by a slave owner of 18 enslaved people. And today, that same house is owned and operated by us. The moment my husband and I walked in the door of this home, there was something that was overwhelming, and we couldn't put our finger on it. But by the time we got to the stairs, not even fully into the house, we said, we've got to have this. And it was way more than we were anticipating spending, but it was something that was an imperative. And we felt that presence as soon as we walked in. And I now am aware that my presence, my ownership, and my leadership is both a reclamation and a responsibility. We are the only Black-owned Airbnb in downtown Annapolis. And but we know that legacy alone doesn't build equity, opportunity does. My husband and I started our business 5 years ago, and with a location in Bethesda. Then we bought here in Annapolis, and we just opened our 3rd location in Cabin John, Maryland last month. And this is where Arundel Economic Development Corporation's Inclusive Venture Program changed the trajectory of my business and my thinking. I completed cohort 11 in May 2024 at a moment when the Oaks Hospitality Group was growing, but before we bought our place in downtown. And the weight of the history of what we were building, the challenges of access to capital, the realities of scaling as a minority-owned business were very real. And the Inclusive Venture Program gave me tools and clarity, and that I know that I needed to have to be able to grow with intention. And over 8 weeks, I walked alongside entrepreneurs whose dreams looked like mine, ambitious, under-resourced, and ready to level up. IVP helped me get laser focused on cash flow projections. You know all about that part. And Mr. Will Holmes and all of his work with us, and the amazing Barbara Quay. We, in the IVP program, built sales model that aligned with actual growth goals and transformed working hard into working strategically. And that shift alone shaped how I think about scale. And the access to capital was life-changing. Because of what I learned in IVP, the coaching, the accountability, I'll say that one more time, the accountability in our weekly meetings were really remarkable. And I was able, over this past year and a half, to secure more than $100,000 in grant funding because of the work I did in IVP. And don't you know, Thursday night, I won my first award for the Best Hospitality Award. I'm kind of excited about it. So I want to share, and I want to give back, and I want to show other aspiring business owners how to grow their businesses as well. And I believe that the importance of minority-owned businesses and achieving excellence in hospitality, design, and community impact was totally fueled by my work and my ability to be in a program like the IVP program. So when I think about building an equitable future, I think about spaces like ours on Green Street, where history of slavery is not erased, but it's acknowledged, where ownership becomes a form of healing and empowerment, and where economic mobility is tied directly to programs that equip people with real skills, real capital, and real community. My story is not just about the Oaks, it's about what happens when local systems invest in inclusive economic development. It's about ensuring that the next small business, the next women-owned business, the next Black or brown-owned in-restaurant, tech startup, or creative enterprise doesn't have to fight the same battles. It's about transforming legacy into opportunity and ensuring the future of Anne Arundel County is one where equity is not aspirational, but operational.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon. It's just been it's been amazing to be a small piece of your journey and watching you and being watching you and being a supporter and a champion for you as well. So when I sit through, I feel like that was really helpful in trying to impart the impact that this program has. When I sit at the graduations, it's just, I heard the word magical earlier, and that's what it feels like. It feels magical to hear how these business owners' lives have been transformed in this program. And so I can't speak highly enough about it. I think with that, I'm gonna go to the last slide. I wanted to give one more pitch, which is we're having a business expo in January. And this is the first of its kind in Anne Arundel County. It's for all businesses, all sizes, all sectors across the county. It really is an opportunity for business-to-business networking. There's going to be a ton of resources, expert panels, and a keynote speaker. And we're really excited to bring this to the county for the first time. We've heard from our businesses that they need more opportunity to network with one another, and so we want to provide that forum to them. So if you do own a business or are thinking about it, please join us at the expo. And I just want to, again, thank you so much, everyone, for allowing me to present the work that we do. Kind of like Daryl said, I feel like I love my job. We just get to help people every day. So thank you.
How many of you know that small businesses fuel our economy? How many of you know that? Who wants to know where I learned that? Where did I get that line? Stuart Pittman. Stuart Pittman taught me that line, but it's the truth. And what I'm hearing, first of all, Barbara Quay is a phenom. And Amy Gowan has given her so much in terms of resources and capacity to do the work that she does. If you are looking to start a small business, and you are in the categories described, please see Barbara Quay. And if you're looking to start a small business or grow a business, see Amy Gowan's people in economic development. They do excellent work, and small business, home ownership, education are keys to freedom. So that's what we hope you're getting from today. Last but certainly not least, my good friend, Dr. Kellie McCants-Price is going to talk to you about Anne Arundel Community College, which, if you don't know, is one of the best community colleges in the country. The best, says our county executive, the best.
Absolutely. So I would first like to thank Mr. Pittman. I told you earlier, as someone who does diversity, equity, and inclusion work in this county, and this is my 12th year as a full-time employee at Anne Arundel Community College. First as a professor, so I am also a panel bully, a long talker. So Asha, please cut me off if you need to.
Well, I want to hear from you, but just don't go too long.
So too long is what, a couple hours, hour and a half, 90 minutes, 75 minutes? But Mr. Pittman, I really want to thank you on behalf of the community college. We have watched as you have worked, and we are just so much in awe of the way that you really have positioned Anne Arundel County as the best place for all. People write mottos and catchphrases and all that stuff all the time, but how many of them really walk the walk? And Mr. Pittman, you're walking the walk. So I want to thank you. I want to thank the staff from the Office of Equity and Human Rights. Asha pretty much knows if she asks me to do it, I'm going to do it. So here I am. I'm here to talk to you all about Anne Arundel Community College. We are the best community college for all. And as my president, Dr. Dawn Lindsay, says, we are the community's college. We are your community's college. So we're going to talk about opportunities to redefine yourself at the community college. So I'm going to start by saying, I'm not talking about all of our programs because we have more than 160, okay? I'm going to give you a website at the very end. It's going to be on the very last slide where you can start your journey to learn more about the community college. But I'll just hit you with some highlights. So first, our mission statement with learning as a central mission, Anne Arundel Community College responds to the needs of our diverse community by offering high quality, affordable, accessible, and innovative lifelong learning opportunities. And just so that you all are aware, Dr. Bedell and I don't walk in two different directions. He talked to you about advanced placement, I'm talking about community college. We are actually working as partners because the way that dual enrollment opportunities are rolled out in the county and operationalized in the county are through a partnership between Anne Arundel Community College and Anne Arundel County Public Schools. So if I can go to slide 2. So we were first located in Arnold. We have now grown in the last 64 years to include offering classes not only in Arnold, but Arundel Mills. If you've ever been to Live Casino, if you kind of look a little bit around the corner from Live Casino, you see a big old building that has the Anne Arundel Community College logo on it. We offer classes there. We offer classes online. And once some renovation is done, we will be offering classes in Glen Burnie, but we also offer classes in some of the Anne Arundel County Public Schools. So we're pretty much everywhere you want to be. We are the largest single campus community college in Maryland, in case you didn't know. Who knew? Who knew? Tell everybody. And our head count is, for fiscal year 25, was about 30,000. Between credit and non-credit programs. And so I think a lot of times when people think about a college or a university, we think about credit programs. So, you know, like the sort of traditional ways people graduate from high school and then they go on to college. But one of the things that we also want to let people know is that we offer non-credit programs that might help folks who just want to take a class for enjoyment. Others who might want to seek an additional credential like a project management certificate to boost their workforce skills or to upskill a bit. So if we can go to slide 3. One of the things I want to just sort of center us in is that the community college has been very thoughtful about making sure that we keep education costs minimized as much as possible, and that we amplify the quality of education when there is a debate going on in the world about whether or not there really is a benefit to a tertiary or college education. And I'm here to tell you, not just because I work for the community college, but a college education, community college education, 4-year degree, graduate degrees, professional degrees, which we hear some folks trying to take away from us. Those things change lives. Just like Asha just said, home ownership, owning businesses, starting businesses, having an education, it changes lives. We have watched at the community college where students have come to us, in some cases as career changers, having finished a military career, having been laid off from jobs, losing opportunities for other reasons. They come to us, they quickly get a credential, and they're employable very, very quickly. So I'll talk a little bit about the community college. One, within county tuition options, some of our programs can be completed for $10,000 or less. And in a world where, so I'm a parent of a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. If you have a 16-year-old, you may also be looking at colleges. My kid can go to Anne Arundel Community College. She also would like to look at other programs, and we have experienced sticker shock in our family. Yeah. My kid came home one day and she said, I love this institution. I won't name it. It's not Anne Arundel though. I love this institution. This would be really great. I think I want to apply here. I said, well, how much is it going to cost for us to send you there for a year? She said, oh, like only $86,000. And I'm in my head going, ×4 equals, right? So the community college is an option to be able to deal with some of the issues of sticker shock. Many of our programs are open access. Our president likes to say we accept the top 100% of all students who apply. Top 100. If you haven't felt good about yourself in a while, You know, just I'm part of the top 100, right? So we do have some selective admissions programs, so I'll talk a little bit about a couple of those. But we do provide opportunities for traditional age college students, so students coming right out of high school into college. We have opportunities for career changers, lifelong learners, free courses for seniors. So let's say you graduated and you're like, or you retired and you think, I think I want to keep my mind kind of engaged. We do all kinds of fun things, like keep people reading, gardening, and teaching them lots of really great new skills. And we also work with our dual enrollment population. I also told Amber Barnett, if she's here, and Dr. Xavier, that we also offer classes in our hospitality, culinary arts, and tourism program that are great for date night. So you can come learn to, you know, make drinks, cook things, bake things, right? As a fun date night. And we have established transfer and articulation agreements with many local colleges and universities. And we have a staff that's working very hard to make seamless transfer an opportunity for pretty much any student who comes through starting at Anne Arundel Community College and looking to transfer, which means that one of the things that we're doing is examining the issue of credit loss. So college is expensive. I recognize that as somebody who's been to college, but also someone who works there. So one of the things we want to do is make sure that as students are coming through our institution, that we're doing a really great job of advising them and making their schedules efficient, so that when they get ready to transfer to other institutions aren't saying, oh, we can't take that course, we can't take that course, because we recognize that that's taking money out of folks' pockets, okay? All right, so we offer classes that start for traditional credit courses in the fall, in the winter, in the spring, and in the summer. So there really is no bad time to apply to take classes at Anne Arundel Community College. We offer traditional 15-week courses. We also offer 8-week courses, so it's possible for some of our students to start a course in August, finish in October, start another course in October, and finish it up, start another course in October and finish it up by December. So some of our students are taking the opportunity to accelerate the speed with which they finish their degree processes by taking those courses and stacking them. We also offer 6-week courses in the summer, and if you can believe it, some 2- and 4-week classes in the winter. And so some people go, 2 weeks. But if we think about some of our Anne Arundel County Public School teachers who are looking for certifications, or other folks in the communities who might need a course that they might have to repeat because it's been a while since they've taken a course, or they might need to, you know, they have subject matter that they understand, but they need to document that they've taken a course, they might come to us and take a course in the winter, which is a really great opportunity. We have transfer pathways to Bowie State University, Morgan State University, University of Maryland College Park, UMBC, and University of Maryland Global Campus, and other institutions. We're working daily to figure out ways to make sure that transfer is seamless for our students. All right, I forgot to ask you to move to the next slide, or did I? Because I can't see the slides either. All right, so if we could go to slide 4, and that slide says an AACC academic program highlights, so we'll talk. Are we good? That's where we are? Okay, fantastic. So I asked someone in our admissions office if I had to talk to a group about really great opportunities to get started really quickly with programs that have a really good prospect for being able to make a comfortable living wage or better. My admissions colleague said, talk to them about nursing. That's our first one. We have a top-rated nursing program. In any given year, we're rated somewhere between number 1 and number 5 in the nation in our nursing program. We offer not only an RN program, but an LPN program, so licensed practical nurse program. The deadline for applying to our LPN program is coming up. It is January 30th. So if you are someone who's thinking, you know what, this might be something I can do, the LPN program might be for you, so consider applying. There are also nursing refresher courses that can be offered. You can do those in 2 courses through our continuing education and workforce development programs. If you're looking for a fall start, so you say, okay, hold on, Dr. K, it's a little too soon for me to start taking some LPN courses, you can apply all the way up through April 30th for a fall start program. So some of the nursing programs are selective admission, so you would have to, you would have some prerequisites that you would need to meet, but we accept a wide range of diverse students, some who are working students, and we are also looking to expand our credit by examination program. So for folks who are career changers, those might be really great options for them to be able to become healthcare professionals. So next up, our dental hygiene program. I see Asha moving to the...
No, dental hygiene is very important, and we know that there's a shortage, so I'm gonna let you get that one off too. Go ahead, dental hygiene.
There is a whole
Tell the
shortage.
people.
So if you are interested in applying to the dental hygiene program by April 30th, for a fall start, so if you want to start in fall 2026, apply by April 30th. One of the other things that we're excited about is we're looking to open a dental hygiene clinic, so that will offer us opportunities to be able to provide free or low-cost dental care to community members. We have an EMS program, and we also have an incredible skilled trades program. So I just heard someone today talk about how if 4 people got together, 4 different trades, they could all, find a home that needed some work on the home together, and make sure that they are prepared to be able to sell that home and create some income for themselves. And the guy said, well, it might take about 4 years for folks to get ready to get into skilled trades jobs. We can do that in much less time at the community college. And we have a new skilled trade center that is looking to do those things. So if you're thinking about construction management, HVAC tech, plumbing, electrical jobs, steam fitter jobs, and looking to making $75,000 to $100,000 coming out of college, these might be the opportunities for you. We also offer stackable credentials through our business department. So if you finish your skilled trades degree, you can also add a certificate in business or accounting that might help you to not only be the practitioner, but also to be able to run your own business. Asha, do I have a couple more minutes?
You don't.
I don't? You don't.
Can
I just show them the next slide? I told
You can
I was
show
gonna
them the next slide. AV Tech, next slide, please.
AV Tech, next slide. So technology and cybersecurity. And then we also have a casino dealer school. The next info session for the dealer school at Arundel Mills is going to be on December 3rd. There's one at 10 a.m. There's one at 1 p.m. So if you want to deal blackjack,
Casino dealer.
you could be the one. So can I go up 2 slides to the second to last slide?
I know she's
Yeah, I told
here.
you.
I have the cane. I'm like about to.
Dr. Bedell took all my time. I'm going to the very last slide because I think this is probably one of the most important. If you've heard something, or if anything about Anne Arundel Community College has piqued your curiosity, there's a very simple way to get started on your journey to become a Riverhawk. You go to www.aacc.edu/ this is real easy, become a Riverhawk. And we are excited to see what opportunities there are for you to partner with AACC and for us to help you to redefine yourself. Thank you.
Dr. Bedell and Dr. Kellie are always working to evaluate, or I should say their institutions are always working to evaluate the needs of the marketplace where we have shortages. And I happen to have heard very personally about the dental hygienist situation from a couple of dentists. So these are places where folks can work. They're looking for folks to employ in these disciplines. Please, if you have young people or older people in your life who are looking for careers, where they can get employed and make some money, please check in with the community college and see what kinds of certifications you can get and what kinds of programs you can enroll in. If you have doubt that Anne Arundel County is the best place for all, hopefully these panelists are allaying those doubts right now. I want to thank all of them for being here, and I hope that you will take advantage of the opportunities that they've discussed.